Hey CoreniaBug fans, I'm here at the new River Gorge Bridge Walk, and I don't know about you, but I think the view is simply gorgeous. Today, I'm in southern West Virginia. I'm at the New River Gorge National Park. The bridge is 3,030 feet long and 876 feet high. And today, I'm walking from end to end across the 24-inch wide catwalk that runs under the bridge. Number one priority. Okay, get the legs. The green is the right leg. Okay, here we go. All right, and the stripey is the left leg. There we go. Okay, just like putting on a pair of pants. You might notice the phone lanyard around my neck. I bought that in the gift shop for $6. They do require that any personal items be secured. You can have items in your pockets like a wallet, but any phones or cameras need to be attached to you.
We're ready, and y'all can hop on the bus. Is this called That's correct.
To the bus. Let's go get on the bus. The building was super easy to find. Our GPS took us right to it, and there was plenty of parking. I pre-signed all the waivers online, so all we had to do when we arrived was check in with our guide and get ready to walk. Here we go. The seats on the bus were pretty comfortable, but it was a really quick ride, like 10 minutes or less. The bus dropped us off at the New River Gorge Welcome Center, and then it was a short walk to the bridge. He said that if you are warm now, then you'll be good on the bridge. And if you're cold now, then you are getting ready to suffer. The walking path down to the bridge was very steep. So if you have any mobility or balance issues, that is something to be aware of. Also, shout out to our guide TJ Walker for his chill vibes and making everyone feel comfortable. He is also a professional wrestler. I'll put a link in the comments if you want to check him out.
That's what 44 million pounds of steel looks like. That is Core 10 steel, C-O-R-T-E-N. It's got copper in it. It was designed to rust, so that's why it looks like that. That's keeping us from having to paint that thing and do a whole bunch of maintenance on it. Just because the way the bridge was designed, it does that for itself. So the rust is definitely there. It's meant to be there, but it's not going to come off on your clothes. It's not going to get on your hands. It just feels like metal when you touch it. And as long as we keep the birds off of it, which isn't happening too well right now. We had peregrine falcons that were getting the pigeons, but now we're down to one falcon, and they ain't had babies in a minute. They mate for life, so the pigeons are winning. You'll learn to watch the handrails. You'll see what I mean. If you look out in the center, there's a hump. That's called the camber, like amber with the C. That thing moves all day long. It ain't done much moving today because the temperature hasn't done a whole lot. But it expands and contracts with the temperature. So, and that's not one of those things that we see. That would be like a bad Netflix movie. We don't really want to see the bridge moving with the temperature. What we are going to notice are the cars. So each vehicle that goes across the bridge is going to make it shake. Yeah, and I'm not trying to scare y'all at this point. It's just kind of part of it. It's shaking or vibration. It's just all according to how you want to look at it. Whichever word makes you feel better, that's what's going on. They claim there's 1 million bolts. I think there's probably more. If it didn't shake, the bolts wouldn't work. So we want it to shake. We want that thing to be wiggling while we're up there because we like it staying there. It's noisy too. It's noisy. That's also from the cars. Your brain and your body negotiating with each other. Your body's saying you should run. It's actually your lying eyes telling your body to run, but your brain already knows you're good.
At this point, I am a little bit nervous, but my excitement really outweighs the nervousness. And I was mostly anxious that I would get in the middle of the bridge and like have a freak out or something. But overall, I was way overthinking it. I definitely just needed to lean into the excited feeling and just stop overthinking. I feel kind of nervous right now, but this is fine so far. But we're still not relatively far off the ground, so I think it's okay. And we're off. One foot in front of the other. All you have to do is simply walk. I've been training for this my whole life. The guide did recommend that if you're nervous, being in the middle of the group is usually the best. So I did take that advice. I had 5 people in front of me and 4 behind me. And there were 10 people in our group. 13 is the max number per tour for safety reasons, and so you get a more personal experience. Even though being very first or last would have probably been the best for pictures and videos, being in the middle of the pack definitely made me feel more comfortable. People do back out though. When we were getting off the bus, there was a dad and 2 sons that were getting picked up at the Welcome Center because they couldn't do it. No shame if you decide to back out, but if it doesn't hurt your pride, it will definitely hurt your wallet because there are no refunds.
That's Van Station Road. That's Route 82 on the map. Like I say, same road we were on the bus. You're just turning down to the bottom all the way. So turn left-handed out the parking lot, turn downhill till you get to the river, and then you go uphill to the top. That's how simple the directions are. That's about 8 miles of road. It's going to take you 30 to 45 minutes, just according to how big a hurry you're in. If you stop, get out, take pictures, you can make that last all day. So it's really according to what you're into. These cooler days, if you're not into taking a hike in the wind when it's 50 degrees, this is perfect. You get out till you get cold, get back in the car. All these hikes are close to the car because the way the valley's laid out. The whole thing's tiered out. Cliff, bench, cliff. Once we take a few steps, you see the next cliff line, you'll see this road couldn't be any wider. This whole valley's laid out like a wedding cake. That's the best way I know how to describe it. This section is so narrow that all they had room to fit was the road. If you live in this part of the gorge and worked in a coal mine here, you walk from the top to the bottom. Back to the top. That is not an easy thing. You did that when you were sick, when you were healthy, when you were happy, when it was hot, you were bored at the beginning and tired before at the end of it.
Oh my gosh, it's so windy up here on the new River Gorge Bridge. Do you know what color the wind is? Blue. It was definitely very cold and extremely windy on the bridge. On the day we did the tour, it's the first week of May, and the weather was 55 degrees Fahrenheit, and it was cloudy on and off throughout the day. And I know 55 doesn't seem like it's super cold, but I guess with the wind chill, it definitely felt way colder on the bridge. I was so happy to be wearing my puffy winter jacket and my beanie hat. If you are interested in doing the tour, I recommend dressing warmer than you think you need to, unless you're going in the middle of summer, in which case I'm sure you'll be more concerned with not melting. I was worried that it might rain, but the tour operates rain or shine, unless the conditions are deemed unsafe. But it turned out to be a beautiful day, just cold. There was this one guy in our group wearing shorts and a hoodie, and he was trying to be on macho, like, I'm a man and I'm not cold. But the goosebumps on his legs and the hair standing straight up were telling a different story. Also, talking about clothes, I didn't realize until after I got home and I was reviewing the footage, I had a realization that my outfit looks exactly like Jay from Jay and Silent Bob. Put a smiley in the comments if you know what I'm referencing. Who smoked the blunts? We smoke the blunts. Rolling blunts and smoking blunts. At this point, I'm not even thinking about being nervous anymore. I feel like I've acclimated to the height and I'm starting to just focus on the beautiful view. Every direction you look, it's like a Bob Ross painting. Just happy little trees. It's an interesting combination, admiring the great feat of human engineering of the bridge blended with the amazing beauty of nature. The New River Gorge is the newest national park. It was named the 63rd national park in the US in 2020.
That's the new river down there, the new river. It starts out in Blowing Rock, North Carolina, and it works its way down here to Golly Ridge, which is just around the campsite. This is the place where the new river changes its name to the Kanawha River. The Kanawha is the one that goes to Charles. Same water, just a different name. Works its way down to Point Pleasant, where it goes into the Ohio. Point Pleasant's where the Mothman Museum is at, by the way, down that way. And then if you're going north on 79, up at Sutton, that's where the State Bigfoot Museum is at. It's free to get in, so I'm going to go check it out. I'm not so sure about it.
Wow, it's so pretty. Aw, it's so pretty. Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm like really high. If you made it to this far in the video, be sure to take a moment to smash that like. It really helps me out a lot so YouTube knows to recommend this video to others. Also, if you're not already, make sure you join the CoreniaBug universe by subscribing to the channel. And lastly, don't forget to turn on the notifications so you don't miss any CoreniaBug adventures in the future. This is my first travel vlog segment and I realize it might be a little rough around the edges, but I love traveling and I really hope that I can do more travel vlogs in the future. I know with practice, I can get even better at talking on location and sharing my experience. I want to be sure to bring the same silly energy to all my videos that you have come to know and love.
Now, those railroad tracks are the main line of the CSX Railroad. Those pretty much connect Virginia Beach to the Midwest. The trucks on both sides are both sides of the river. Get the coal out. Between Bluestone and Hogsnest Dam, there's over 50 coal mines. So that means there's over 50 ghost towns now. You can come here and hike for a month and not hit all the ghost towns. They're not all easy to get to. Y'all can drive down to Middleburg, it's worth more than The old coal haulage is still there. That was the longest coal haulage in the world. Henry Ford of that. He came here for a couple of trips and ended up buying a couple coal houses. His idea was you get the coal.
Ooh, it is kind of loud. You can hear the cars driving on the bridge like above us, and you can feel the vibration as they're driving across. It's kind of wild. I was really glad that the guide had warned us about the sounds we would hear from the cars driving across the bridge. There were a couple times that the sound was really loud, but because I was expecting the noises, I was definitely less freaked out. And on average, approximately 16,000 vehicles drive across the new River Gorge Bridge every day. Is this a good spot for feet dangling? Where should our feet dangle? I was looking for a spot that would be great to sit on the bridge and dangle my feet over the edge. I had seen other people do it online, so I knew it's okay to do, and it makes for some really epic photos. Oh, there's a train. Cool.
You see freight trains, coal trains, people trains, that's all the surface you together. This is the big on track.
Choo-choo, there's a train coming. The train tracks on both sides of the New River Gorge are currently owned by CSX. They are historic freight corridors built in the 1870s by C&O Railway to haul coal. These tracks are still active today, mostly used to transport heavy coal, freight, and sometimes Amtrak passenger trains. Okay. Here seems like a good spot. Even though I knew it was okay to do this, I'm pretty sure the other people around me on the tour just thought I was nuts. I did feel such a sense of pride from dangling my feet over the edge. Even though I had planned to do this and I was pretty sure that I wanted to, I just wasn't sure how I would handle it in the moment. Even though I had been nervous, I was so happy and so proud that I didn't let my nerves get the best of me. I fully embraced the experience and the opportunity to do something that seems both crazy and really awesome. Yeah, I'm so brave. Once a year in October, they actually shut the bridge down for driving traffic, and they have an annual Bridge Day festival. Art, crafts, and food vendors set up on the bridge, and you can walk across the bridge, like on the top. I'm sure the foliage is so colorful at that time of year as the trees are changing. Also on Bridge Day, you can base jump off the bridge, you know, like with a parachute, of course. I don't think I'll be doing that anytime soon or ever. I think the bridge walk is plenty exciting enough for me. I don't know what you guys think, but the view, it's absolutely gorgeous. You get it? You know, gorge, gorgeous. Oh, that's a long train. Like the train is still going. That was seriously the longest train I have ever seen, ever. If you had to wait at a train crossing, you would be waiting a while.
Hey guys, we made it to the center.
Oh, whoa! So we're halfway across the bridge, and it's a lot longer than maybe I thought it was going to be. We drove over the bridge earlier when we were headed to the bridge walk, and we just flew over it in the car. But walking underneath is a whole different story. It feels so much different, and it feels a lot higher when you're walking across versus when we were driving across. Mm-hmm. Also, the metal pieces of the bridge look so much bigger when you're up close. They seemed, when you're far away and looking at a view of the bridge, it doesn't seem like the pieces are like that humongous, but then when you get up close, they look like humongous. I didn't know if I was gonna let my feet dangle. I thought I might be scared, but now that I'm up here, I don't feel as scared as I thought I might. It just is really beautiful. It's so beautiful that I wasn't even thinking about being scared. Whoa, we're 851 feet off the ground right now. That's crazy. I was super surprised when the guide said we were only halfway. Not that I wanted to hurry, but time almost seemed to slow down while we were up there. I have read that new experiences can seem to slow time because it wakes your brain up and you have to analyze and adapt to the situation. I guess that's why time goes slower when you're a kid, because most all experiences are new. But whether it was my brain waking up or just because I was totally immersed in the wonderful beauty of nature, time definitely seemed to move slower. You know, I had felt very disconnected with nature lately. I guess this experience was a fantastic way to bridge the gap. But I'm okay because I have my rock. And then it's one of those stories where then, like, the rock gets lost, and then it's like, you didn't need the rock, it was within you the whole time.
Always like to point these rockers out, you guys. That's what the moving part. That little bitty rocker. That's the fourth one of four. I always wait
Oh,
for
I
the
see.
last one to show you.
That.
It's moving. But we put surface area in. Some people don't like it when I put this out. That was the craziest part. When I first started coming up here, that was probably the craziest part.
So the guide says that there's a rocker and it's supposed to like move with the bridge, and that sometimes you can see him move, and that's a little creepy, but it's supposed to do that. But it's right over there. Yeah, there it is. As I mentioned, I had my rock with me. I do have a rock for anxiety. It's a lepidolite stone. It's a beautiful deep purple that's the perfect size to fit in the palm of my hand. And lepidolite is also called the peace stone, and it's widely used for emotional healing, reducing anxiety and stress. It also promotes tranquility and balance due to its high natural lithium content. At the time I'm feeling overwhelmed or anxious, I hold my rock and it helps keep me calm and helps me feel better. And it might sound silly for some of you guys, but for me, it definitely works. What was that? That must be a really big truck. Oh my gosh. It was like shaking so bad. It must have been like a really, really big truck driving across. Oh my gosh. I guess normally you would see like rafters coming down the river on the new river, but today is way too cold for rafting. The bridge arch is a record breaker. When it was completed, it was the longest steel arch bridge in the world. Today, it still holds the title of the longest single-span steel arch in the Western Hemisphere. Also, as the guide was saying earlier, the bridge is made of Cor-10 steel. That's C-O-R-T-E-N steel. And it is designed to form a stable, rust-like oxidation that actually protects the metal from the elements. But even though it looks rusty, it didn't get on like your hands or your shoes or clothes or anything like that. And this rust protection actually saves millions in painting costs, so they don't have to keep repainting the bridge. And it just looks really cool. Kind of gives a 90s Nickelodeon like industrial vibe. So at this point, I was feeling super comfortable and I just started having fun with it. I was started being really silly, and sometimes you just have to bust a move, you know, whenever the moment feels right. I mean, who doesn't want to have a random dance party hundreds of feet in the air? Hey CoreniaBug fans, if you made it this far in the video, pretty please do me a favor and smash that like button. It really helps me out a lot so that YouTube knows to recommend this video to others. I would love to have you on board the CoreniaBug train. Choo choo, all aboard! Don't forget to turn on your notifications so that way you don't miss any CoreniaBug fun and any CoreniaBug adventures in the future.
Because if y'all haven't been down there yet, that parking lot's available to you all. There's 3 actual parking lots that you all can leave your vehicles in all the way around. Down where the bus is, you're welcome to walk down there, but they don't like you to park and hang out just because for the commercial traffic coming and going. There's a bathroom up in the one where we can see all the cars. There's another.
I did get to talk with some of the other people in our tour group, and I feel like with this type of tour, or any tour that you're on, the other people in the group can truly affect the experience, either for the better or for the worse. So if you got cool people with you, it definitely makes for a cooler experience. When you're with a group of strangers, you never know quite what you're going to expect with that. And in our case, everyone in our tour group was super chill. I mean, who knew that the Bridge Walk tour would be such a great place to connect? The Bridge Walk definitely feels a little longer than maybe I thought it would, but I guess, I mean, I kind of knew about how long the tour was when we booked it, so it's not like that surprising, but just when we're walking on it, it feels longer. Oh no, we gotta be careful now. We're getting to the pigeon poop territory, so watch out for the pigeon poop. The guide did warn us in the beginning to watch out for the pigeon poop on the bridge, but the only places that I noticed that we really had to watch out were at the very beginning of the bridge and then closer to the end of the bridge. But there were a few spots in the middle too. You kind of just had to be aware of like the handrails, and maybe you didn't want to step in a big glob of it, you know? You don't want that on your shoes. But I can see why birds would want to be like under the bridge where they would build their nest there. If I was a little birdie, I imagine it would make a great home. Protection from the elements, endless people watching. It'd be really cool.
Guys, we made it to the end of the camber. Now we're getting on the third bridge. So we're in the home stretch. We're going to have a nice warm bus. Y'all go get ready for a warm bus. It's a felony trespass to get caught on the bridge. Now they did that to keep us poor West Virginians from falling off. All they did was just make sure everybody went at night.
Our guide says he snuck up here one time with some friends like a long time ago, but he didn't make it very far. And he said that you can't see the ground at night, even if you have a flashlight. It's just too high from the ground. You can't see it when it's dark outside. And it's a felony trespass if you get caught up here and you're not supposed to be up here, which didn't keep anybody from coming up here. It just made sure that they came at night instead. I can't even imagine sneaking onto the bridge walk with no harness or no safety precautions. That is one of the reasons that I felt secure and that I wasn't as nervous. Oh. So to not have a security blanket would be absolutely terrifying. Surprisingly, even with people sneaking onto the catwalk though, no one has ever fallen off and died. One worker did die during the construction of the bridge, but that happened on the ground on the gorge's like sloping sides. They did not fall off the structure itself.
This good place to get one last good look in at the water and everything. It's about this. Where you start feeling again, coming off the tree. That's like the breeze up in.
Just one last glance. Oh, it's almost over. Even though I'm kind of cold and I'm ready to get out of the cold, it's like I don't want the view to be over. At this point, I'm feeling a little sad because I just don't want the tour to be over. Even though it was really cold and I was kind of looking forward to getting on the nice warm bus, I just wanted to soak in the view as much as possible. I was feeling really grateful to be looking over the gorge, and I was just trying to savor the moment as much as possible. I've actually been whitewater rafting on that river before, on the New River. Yep, whenever I was a kid, my parents and I came on a vacation to West Virginia, and I've actually been rafting on that river. Whoa. Annie, he's my big peep. Even though it was so long ago, I do remember the view floating down the river under the bridge. It was incredible to see from the river looking up. And it seems so high up, it's crazy to think that now I'm at the top looking down. Oh, you can see the rafts. Oh, I bet those people are so cold at the water. But you can see the little rafters down there. Well, I mean, they're not little, they're regular size, but they look little to me.
No different.
As we're getting closer to the end of the tour, I thought it would be a good time to mention the price. I paid $79 per ticket. Taxes and fees were $18.96, so the total cost for the 2 tickets was $176.96. I also didn't see any different prices for kids, so it is $79 per human. Also, participants must be at least 8 years old and at least 48 inches tall. I feel like the price is totally worth it though. This is a unique experience that you can't get anywhere else. I also recommended buying tickets way in advance if you can, because they do tend to sell out pretty quickly. Oh my gosh, we're almost at the end. We're almost at the end. As the tour is coming to an end, I'm reflecting on the experience and the roller coaster of emotions that I felt today. From the fearful and nervous, to excited and euphoric, to being humbled by the magical elegance of nature's beauty. Not to sound like a fortune cookie, but it's an experience that excites the spirit and soothes the soul. Yeah, a little bit of hiking.
We're in the woods.
We're walking in the woods. Exactly. Thanks so much for coming along on this adventure. The Bridge Walk tour over the New River Gorge in West Virginia is definitely an awesome experience. I would totally recommend checking it out. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and stay tuned for the next episode of my road trip adventure. Goodbye.